Yeah, we're recording. Excellent. Well, I think I had 9 people signed up for today, so three's pretty good.
That is good. Who won the first challenge?
Oh, you did, of course, because
Oh, okay.
you and I are the only ones that posted photos in time.
Okay.
I did get somebody else that sent me photos, and I'm like, I'm sorry, that was like a week ago. Sorry.
So I was like, did I win or no?
Yeah, you did. I've just been going crazy trying to get caught up around here, and it's been got put on my side agenda. But it will come up when I get to, if I ever make it to January 8th. It's yep, there it is, right there.
So that's good.
So yeah, that you won. Sad, right? I have this huge list, it's but like this right here is this week. So like it's calmed way down from what it used to be.
Yep.
And of course Christmas didn't sure has as and COVID sure as heck didn't help.
Nope.
Anyway, well, I think I spoiled by people by videotaping so many of my things. So anyway, whatever. Where did you go, Pam? Where are you, Pam? Oh well, here we go. So anyway, your paper is all beautifully organized, unless you're me, and your scraps have been carefully stashed or purged, and your desk is gleaming. You are starting to get organized. Doesn't it make it feel creative?
It does. I've done 2 projects since I've done my room.
Yeah. Well, my mom is the same. She doesn't have a huge collection of product, but so she went through and in a week got everything organized, and she's banging out up to 3 layouts a day.
Nice.
So she's and that's with still doing all of her exercises and her clean house cleaning and all of that stuff. So yeah, it makes a huge difference when you can find things. Now then there's me, who hasn't had 5 minutes to do my paper. It's on my agenda for today. um but right now I'm finding it very frustrating to do anything. I thought, oh, what a horrible weekend. I'm going to get this quilt done that I've been wanting to do forever. And I designed it. I started piecing it. I got the last of the material on Friday, and I'm all excited, except that I went to go back to work on it this morning. My scissors have disappeared completely. I didn't move them, and they're gone. Now I know as soon as I'm not looking for them, they're going to jump up and smack me right in the head, but they're gone. And that makes me absolutely insanely crazy. But that's why I have so much trouble when I have mess. Anyway, so we're going to work on the third most important thing in scrapbooking. And if you're not scrapbooking, if you're quilting, this is a good time to work on your patterns. Or stuff, that kind of thing. If you're knitting, same thing. Maybe this is the time to do your pattern books or something. Or just package up your projects that you want to work on, that kind of thing. So anyway, so I in the blog post there is a link to a really interesting article that I still think is pretty good after all these years. It's from scrapbook.com, and it's on storing and organizing your photos and negatives. And since we agree on so much, they must be doing it right. Sorry, couldn't help it. Okay, I just love your hamburger. I don't even know what else to say. So anyway, protecting your photos means making sure your hands are always dry and clean, and only hold your photos and negatives by the edges. Because sometimes if you've got something on your hands, it gets, and some things just don't come off. Like yesterday, I was covered in blue ink. That would not have been good. But I was art journaling yesterday, so I didn't go near my scrapbooking or photos. So when you decide where you're going to store your photos, you have to think about things like humidity, and temperature and light. Dry paper from low humidity can become very brittle, and high humidity can actually cause photos to stick together, and it can also encourage insect infestations. Insects love paper. And my mom had some old, this is just Friday. Yeah, Friday was a busy day. Mom was saying that she had a pile of photos of Miss Kate, and she wanted to scrapbook them, and they were all stuck together. And, over the last, 30 years, they've probably been in many strange places. And so I said, well, the only thing I can think of at this point, Mom, is to try the freezer. And she did. She stuck them in the freezer, and almost all of them came apart without any damage.
Ooh, that's good to know.
Yeah, because I always say it in when I'm mentioning, things to do to get your photos unstuck. And I always say that about the freezer, but I always also say, but I've never done it myself because I've never not stored my photos the right way.
Yeah.
The only time I have trouble is if somebody else gives me photos and they might not have been stored properly. So anyway, we now know that it's not 100%, but it does work very well. She was able to get most of her pictures. So anyway, speaking of freezers, lower temperatures are always better for photos. They slow the degradation of the paper and the ink and discourage insects. Insects don't like cold. So you do not want to be any higher than 23 degrees centigrade. So that means your attic's probably not a great idea unless it's finished. But anyway, and you also don't want to have temperature fluctuations, which was probably what happened to Mom's pictures. So a garage or a basement isn't a great idea either. And of course, we all know what happens if you leave paper out in the light. It fades and looks very sad. Same thing with photos. And so, keep them dark. Keep them in the dark. Keep them in I always say the photo boxes with the lids are great because, they're small, they're easy to store, and they keep everything protected. Okay, I got a couple more don'ts, and then I'm done with the don'ts. Don't store photos or negatives in albums or photo boxes that aren't Lingan and PVC free, or envelopes that are not archival quality. Do not hold photos together with rubber bands or paper clips. So there's your list of don'ts. Now here's the tricks for getting things out of magnetic albums, or if they're stuck together or whatever. Dental floss apparently goes well. I've tried it. It works the one time I tried it, but I had already emptied all my magnetic albums before we started doing this thing. So I've never had to do it. Blow dryer on a low heat should soften the glue. A spatula or pan lifter, and I know a lot of us use that to get stuff up that's been glued down. And undo adhesive. I have never used that, but so many people I know swear by it, so I leave it in there. And of course, now we know that I can change my blog to say, and my mother has tried it. Yeah, using the freezer. So anyway, and at any time, ladies, if you have a question, I just keep talking unless someone says, wait a minute, what about? And then I'll stop for a minute. Anyway, so as I say, I prefer the acid-free photo boxes with dividers for keeping all my photos in. And the only ones that stay out are ones I'm going to be scrapbooking very soon, because I pull what I think I'm going to be working on. And you can organize your photos in any way you want: chronological, theme, event, subject, date. And my suggestion is write notes on the dividers or on the back of the photos, but don't use a ballpoint pen. Use a photo marking pen or pencil, because the ballpoint pens and pencils will actually leave grooves. Sorry, while I scratch my shoulder, will actually leave grooves on the front of the photo, even if you're a fairly soft printer. And I have learned a hard lesson, and that is never scrapbook an original picture. Because, and the reason I learned this is because they're not replaceable. What are the chances that you have the negative? Although I have a better chance now, because Mom just found a whole bunch of negatives that I'm going to have to go through. Anyway, but the idea is that, like, I was doing a specific page, and I wanted some of my baby pictures, but I'd already scrapbooked them. And that was it back in the beginning when we had all those great scissors and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I had cut all of my baby photos into shapes and funny edges, and I was, very proud of them at the time. But so much was cut out of the pictures that you couldn't really scan them and get a new picture, because there would have been all that blank space from my creativity. Anyway, so the idea is that if you have pictures that cannot be replaced, and do you know you can't even put 110s on a disc? You remember the little 110 cameras? They were like this. Even if you have the negatives, they don't go on a disc. I don't know why, but Walmart couldn't do that for me. They could only do my 35 millimeter.
Oh.
And yeah, the 110s wouldn't work. So anyway, I don't know why, but yeah. So let's see. So scan and reprint, and then use the reprint, obviously. And also remember to store your negatives properly. Basically the same rules as the photos, other than you can use like a 3-ring binder, with the sleeves, and there's actually sleeves that you can get or make yourself. And digital photos have their own set of rules. And I'm just putting this out there because I once had a manuscript that I was working on. It was a whole lot of pages, a whole lot of stuff going on. And I just finished doing all the formatting so that the printer could print it. And I went, but I didn't do that yet. I thought, I'm done. Okay, time to take a break. And the next day I went to, and it was on a thumb drive, and I put the thumb drive back in to send it to the printer. All my formatting was gone.
Oh, no.
And all kinds of goofy things had happened. I'd lost a couple of sections, and I just went, I don't even know what to do right now. I don't know. And so I use multiple places to keep my pictures. Obviously I have 2 external hard drives that are constantly attached, and I put stuff on them. Photos I do online. So, unless Blacks goes out of business, I'm good. Unless Kodak goes out of business, I'm good. If Photolabs goes out of business, I'm still good, because there's photos in a couple of other places. So, but they also have copies too. So that's my thing. In fact, I said if there was a fire in the building, and I was trying to figure out what I would take out, because I'm on the first floor and I've got a big patio door. So, I think I would stay put as long as I could, especially if it was bad weather, until they came and dragged me out or something. But in my mind, all I need are my prescriptions, my purse, and my external hard drives. And everything else can just go away.
Oh, yeah.
Because as long as I've got my photos, I can start all over again.
True.
So, and all of my, except for the giant pile over here, which is also on my list, most of my genealogy is in one of 3 steel boxes. So hopefully that will give them some protection too. So, because I'm not going to be able to get all that out. And even there, I've already started putting pictures on external hard drives and printing them for, you know, for scrapbooking purposes. So, you know what? It won't be long before. Anyway, I carry on. I mumble on. So here we go. Sort. And that means gather all of your photos. Sort them into categories that make sense. Trash. It is okay to throw out photos. If you're never going to use them because the color was bad, everybody had stupid expressions on their face, they were just ugly. Why are you keeping them? Throw them out. You're not going to scrapbook them. You're not going to put them in an album to show to people. You don't want people to ever see these pictures. So throw them out. That was the hardest thing I think I ever did. Scrapbook. Your pile for scrapbooking. The shots that you are definitely going to use. To store the photos that you need to be kept but aren't necessarily going in your scrapbooks. So, you know, they're memorabilia, but there's something important about them, but they're really not great, but they're important. Or your originals that you have scanned should be kept in the store pile. And then giveaways. And I do this. I have a bag, a little paper bag with a handle beside my desk. And when I'm done scrapbooking a page, if it turns out I still have some leftover photos, I put them in the bag. And then every once in a while I do a sort. And these are going to Katie. These are going to Chrissy. These are going to Mom. I'm keeping them because they'd be great for greeting cards. But I get rid of them. And then if there's still anything left, they go in the garbage. I know I'm vicious. And then once you've got all these piles sorted, throw away the trash pile, obviously. Give away the photos to the friends and family that you've selected for them. Just whatever you do, don't leave these things in your studio so that they will get back into your organized space. So obviously, as I say, to scrapbook, that's my one little basket that's over there, and it's got about 100 photos in it. And those are the ones that I've pulled to work on. So, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, what's that? Oh, I thought I heard you say something.
I didn't.
Okay. So now we're going to do assign. And assign is to sort the 2 groups of photos that you have left, which is your to scrapbook and to store, and decide how you're going to sort them. And as I mentioned, chronological is a good way, by holiday, event, vacation, by the person, by event. Oh, I've said event. What else? You know, you're going to come up with your own labels anyway. So you decide how you're going to do them. I do chronological because I always have a calendar, so I can always look on the calendar and see when the event happened. And then I go, oh, okay, I know I have to go in here and get this. And then we're going to containerize. And I think we've talked that to death already about the proper storage. And then equalize, which is the next time you get new photos from the photo processor, spend a few minutes, put the photos where they belong, throw out the bad shots, give away the extras, put the keepers in their album, and sort your photos for scrapbooking into their container. So anyway, it's all that simple. So once again, we've used our space: sort, purge, assign, containerize, and equalize. Photos is, I think, probably the last biggie, unless you're like me and you don't print a lot at a time. I only print usually 100 or 200 at a time. and that's for mom and me. So I don't have a huge problem with keeping them in order. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Okay. So anyway, does anybody have any questions or anything?
I don't think so.
I did. Hopefully I didn't leave anything out. I had notes. Well, I always worry about that. Or that
Can
I'll
you
forget.
tell me what 1 and 2 were? 1 was to clean your desk off. What's 2?
2 was paper.
Paper. Okay.
Yeah, and that means all of your paper, including your scraps. And there is a video of that one. Plus of course, obviously the blog posts, and they're on the group page.
All right, because I need to go through paper.
Yeah, I see. That's what I've got to do, and that's on my list for today. Quilt was yesterday, and today is paper. I've got a little stuff to do, but that's my big project today. But then, of course, I get off easy because my photos are basically done.
Yeah, my photos are in my physical photos are in good shape. My digital photos need work.
Yeah.
So
No,
I try to do that when I have a dog here.
yeah. Well, so I actually, when I download photos from my camera or my phone or whatever I was using at the time, more phone than anything these days. People
Yeah.
can have to start redesigning sketches with more portrait sketches because it's a thing. It's becoming quite the thing.
Exactly.
So
Well, that's what I found too when I was doing like the Project Life. For a while, all the photos were horizontal. Then all of a sudden, all the photos are vertical.
yeah, as more of
And
us
it's
got
like,
phones.
yeah. So it's like, oh, well, this one's not going to work. So, yeah.
So yeah, so I think that may be a new project for me. If I ever have a quiet moment, I've got to go through and start designing more portrait style sketches.
Yep.
Because it's becoming an issue. Definitely.
Yes.
It is for me too. Because I don't use my camera. The battery's shot.
Yeah.
And I'm really not all that excited about putting more money in it because even though it was an expensive camera, it's also been well used by many people in this family. It's been to every kind of event, from hiking up a waterfall to, basketball games. And it's beat up. And now the battery's going, so I can take about 20 pictures and then I have to plug it back in. And my phone takes such better pictures.
Yeah, you know what? It's always with you. You always have it. You don't have to worry about bringing it. I know. When my camera died, we never replaced it.
Yeah, well, that's what I still use it because it does better for taking pictures of layouts and stuff. It'll be even better when I finally get my photo shooting system up and ready to go. But that's another such a list. I gotta stop dreaming so much. But I can't help myself. I need to have lots of dreamy stuff. Well, anyway, on that note, then I will let you go, and you can go check out the blog's post. I'll be putting it up on the group right now.
Okay.
And I shall talk to y'all later.
Okay. Talk to you later, Pam.
Okay. Bye. Thanks for coming again, Michelle.
No problem.
I figure out how to get out of here.